Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena and back to the midweek Magic event, what was written, basically Pioneer, so I built another Pioneer Light deck for you today. We're going to be playing some Cow Daddy Midrange, so some of you might have noticed that Wizards have put out an announcement page as of 420. Happy 420, by the way, if I do manage to get this video out on time. They've put out an announcement that they are going to be either announcing or releasing a new format. I don't know. It's usually in Wizards fashion to announce an announcement. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be an announcement for a brand new format. I think it's this format right here, this midweek Magic event, because this is Pioneer without all the Pioneer cards. It's everything that's on Arena and legal in Pioneer. I actually don't know what the ban list looks like, but I would hazard a guess to say it's the exact ban list of Pioneer. But yeah, we get a really lovely selection of cards that haven't seen play in a long time, and that's what I'm excited about today. We're going to mix some brand new with some old as well. So obviously we've got to play around with Angrath, Flame Dad. 5 mana, 4 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. The +1 allows you to make each opponent discard a card and lose 2 life. The -3 gains control of target creature until the end of the turn. You untap it, it gains haste until the end of the turn, and then you sacrifice it if the mana value of that card is 3 or less. And then -8, each opponent loses life equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. I think this deck, by the way, functions very well into the metagame that I saw when we were playing Gates in the previous video. This is a mid-range deck. It's focused around killing creatures. That's kind of what we're going to work with here. There's a lot of artifacts in this format as well, between Onicult Anvil and Cat Oven. So we've got Angrath's Rampages, which can allow us to sacrifice artifacts. We've got Kolaghan's Commands, which allow us to do the same. And, you know, lots of steal and sack as well with Angrath, getting rid of Mayhem Devils and things like that. And perhaps you'll see Angrath doing some disgustingly good things in today's video, hint hint. But yeah, it's Rakdos midrange, so lots and lots of removal. We got Fatal Pushes and Blood Chief's Thirst. Fatal Push is enabled by Fabled Passage. We also generate treasures with the Fable of the Mirror Breaker on that Chapter 1. The 2/2 creates treasures whenever it attacks. And if it attacks into a bad block as well, that triggers Revolt. So we can use this to hit up to a mana value 4 or less creature, which is pretty good. Thoughtseize on turn 1 speaks for itself, really. We got Croxer for the late game. Only 2 copies, though, because we don't really fill our graveyard. We do have Takenuma, 2 copies of that to mill. It's going to get us either back a creature or a planeswalker. The quality of our cards is very high, so Takenuma can do some very good stuff for that channel there. And it's also going to fill with garbage as well, so Croxer can eat the garbage like the trash human he is. He's so trash human that he's not even a human, he's an Elder Giant. But yeah, it can return planeswalkers as well. We got possibly one of the best planeswalkers of all time for its time in Chandra Torch of Defiance. I guess that's really so not true anymore now that we've had, like, before Fire Design, before Wizards really just like lost their minds and started printing cards to sell packs. Chandra Torch of Defiance was the best planeswalker, I think. That's probably a better way to phrase it. But yeah, it's no Teferi Time Raveler and no Oko, but you know, after all of the broken ass planeswalkers, Chandra's the best. We've also got Sorin the Mirthless as well, because we do need a little bit of card advantage here. The +1 allows us to look at the top card of our library, lose life equal to the mana value of that card. You know, we're going to lose 2 or 3, maybe 4 and 3 here. You know, it's not a pleasant experience ticking up. Let's put it that way. But we do need card advantage, and in Rakdos, Sorin in midrange is one of the better ways to do that. We also have the Chapter 2 on Fable of the Mirror Breaker as well to help us along that path also. And then we have Angrath at the top end, of course. He's just going to come down on an empty board because we're going to empty our opponent's hand. We're going to kill all the creatures. There's going to be nothing to stop him from excuse me, ticking all the way up till our opponent meets their inevitable death. And the Fable, Create the Treasures, allows us to get to him nice and early as well. But yeah, I think that's all I'm going to really talk about as far as the deck is concerned. It's a lot of fun. I had a good time with it. It was nice and competitive. And yeah, I'll let the gameplay speak for itself. But other than that, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you do enjoy today's video. It will really help out the channel a great deal. I do greatly appreciate it. And let's get to it. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in and on the play. We go first. Got an Angrath's Rampage on 2. You have to use our Fabled Passage though, so it's going to make our Fatal Pushes a little bit weaker to do that. But lots of 3 drops, so if we draw a land, we're going to be in a good spot, and Fable can get us to Cow Daddy real quick. Have you guys ever seen Water Burn before? I'm so excited to cast this card again. It's so bad, but so strangely good at the same time. Alright. What are we up against? Hopefully it's a creature matchup. If it's not, could be in a little bit of trouble. We've got a lot of creature-based removal, although I guess a lot of it is also damage-based, so... Gilded Goose. It's a black land. If it wasn't a black land, I would have said this was a Winota deck. Now I'm not so sure. I definitely want to kill the goose, though. Always bolt the bird. In this case, rampage it. Sack a creature, please. Alright. Yeah, it's all gonna come down to land or bust right now. we're already kind of there. I suppose we've got plenty of regainable value here, though. If I do miss a land drop, then, you know, I can still eventually get ahead with Chandra minuses and life gain. And decent blocking with the Trespasser. If I eventually draw my land, missed it by the way, 25 lands. This is a Jund Anvil deck. Land. If we don't draw a land, we're in quite a lot of trouble. Okay, opponent's gonna Anvil. And we did draw the land. Alright. So, I think... to make sure I hit my land drops, I'm going to go Fable. It makes me the 2/2 that creates the treasures, which is great. And then the next chapter discards 2 if the treasure-making goblin dies. I've got the Kolaghan's Command to push through as well. Can even destroy the anvil. Got a lot of artifact destruction in this deck. Ugh. So if I block, I lose my 2/2, so we're not going to do that. So Anvil triggers, the 1 ping that would have gone to my goblin now goes to face instead, which I prefer, honestly. Alright, so we do have Kolaghan's Command, which can return a creature. I'm more interested in getting Chandra down here, I think. Trying to think if there's a way that I could get Chandra down and do something else. I don't think so, right? I can only be up to 5 mana. So I could do the Chandra plus, but then the Mayhem Devil sticks around, and I don't want the Mayhem Devil sticking around. Let's get rid of the Thoughtseize. Basically get the same card I put away back again. Alright, let's see how they choose to block here. If they block with the devil, they'll lose the devil. Because I'll Kolaghan's Command, dealing the 2 and destroying the anvil. So, I'd say we're mostly on a level playing field now, except for I get my Fable to flip and I've got my Angrath and Chandra coming. And our opponent's probably just playing 1 spell this turn. This one's for 1, down to 15. Another Mayhem Devil. So, Angrath, unfortunately, could kill the Chandra. Actually, that's not terrible. In fact, Angrath can waste 1 mana to kill the token as well, so I can play Angrath. They can do a ping now. This is going to be a cool move, a cool way to get rid of Mayhem Devil and keep my Angrath around. I'm going to steal the Mayhem Devil, which is going to sack it at the end step, and then cracking my Fable Passage allows me to deal 1 to the token here, so even if they kill my Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, they still need a little bit more to make it a kill on Angrath. And I even get the death trigger there, look at that. Yeah, that was really nice. So now I'm just going to eat their hand away. So yeah, this is a format where Cat Oven exists, but I do have Graveyard Trespasser. So I could probably line up turns where this is good. In fact, let's play Bone Crusher Giant. Actually, let's play Graveyard Trespasser. And just start eating their creatures away. Make them discard.
No fire, no steel.
So I'm trying to think if I can kill this Cauldron Familiar. Oh, they've got an extra one. I can kill this Cauldron Familiar, I think, because I can, in response to them doing Cat Oven, make a copy of Trespasser. So I'm just going to pass. So if they sack here, I'll eat one of their cats. Right? I don't want to hover my Reflection just in case. In case they realize that I have a way to interact here. So, in response to this, I'm going to make a Trespasser that eats a cat. That at least gets rid of 1, because if they had the food token, they could reanimate it in response. I actually even get to keep the 3/3 here, because I did it on my end step, so... yeah, there's a lot that really worked out for me here. I get a free blocker if they have a hasty creature. Don't expect that to be relevant, mind you, but... another Mayhem Devil would be a problem if they had it. Somehow I suspect they don't. Fatal Push the Kiki-Jiki. Alright, so our cute way of dealing with Cauldron Familiars is no longer a thing. I have the Tyrant, more Graveyard Hate, you love to see it. Let's eat another card in their hand before we attack.
No fire, no steel.
I think I'm gonna... Meat Hut Massacre gone. I think I'm gonna Chandra minus... the Cauldron Familiar? Is that right? Trying to think how I kill the Familiar. I could do Bone Crusher Giant Stomp when they go to sack it, but I'll lose the... maybe I just don't care about the Cauldron Familiar. I mean, the Drain's just not really getting the job done, really, is it? Let's just get rid of some of their powerful stuff here. Got to ask myself, does losing Bone Crusher Giant really make that big of a difference? So they block and they sack. Uh-huh. I can Trespasser, forcing them to bring it back. And then Bone Crush it when they don't have a food token to play with. So then they have to sack another creature in order to get it back, and if they don't, then the Trespasser eats it. I think that's my method of dealing with it. Oh, actually, I get the ETB. Of course. Yeah, good stuff. Alright. Yeah, thought a little bit too big-brained ahead there. There's a Woe Strider. It's a pretty good one. You can do some blocking and sacking, but they can't sack the Woe Strider. Just gonna ping them for 2. Go on, Cow Daddy. Get in there. Oh, this deck's making me so happy right now. You don't even know. Chandra comes down. Minuses on the Woe Strider, swing for 6, eating the Woe Strider so they can't escape it, plus Gildagoose. Yeah, Gildagoose. Drain for 2, block for 1, take 6 total this turn. And then I've got a Cow Daddy and a Chandra active in play, with a Bone Crusher Giant ready to go, a Hive of the Eye Tyrant ready to attack. This game is just so over. Yeah, I kind of expect to see a lot of Anvil Cat Oven decks, so this deck's probably well suited for this event right now. So yeah, pretty sweet, and on to the next one. Alrighty, we play first. We've got turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Rampage or Bone Crusher Giant Stomp, or even Bloodchief Thirst. I mean, this just screams keep. So let's see what they're working with over there. Oh my god, what on earth is going on here? So they're going to try and Scoot Swarm me and then mutate Starix onto it, presumably. I don't care about the Fledgling. I think I'll just take the Scoot Swarm. I really appreciate our opponent's eagerness to make this deck work. It's probably not going to work that well against me. I'm actually going to Stomp here so I've got the Bone Crusher Giant as a proactive play, in case I don't need to remove something this turn. Which I probably do. We've got the Fledgling. But yeah, I might have something off the top, like a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, for example. I think I'd much rather play that. Because this is 4 mana to... Alright, fair enough. 4 mana to kill any creature. I've also got to sacrifice any creature, so if they do manage to mutate with the Great Horn onto the Fledgling and play a land, they can swing over the top, but then it's dead, and then they're just left playing bad cards. I'm assuming they just didn't have a 3rd land here. That's the only thing I can guess from that one, because I know they definitely didn't draw a land off their first draw, because they got the Brushwag. So, bit of an uneventful game, but we move on and take the victory as it is. Alrighty then, opponent goes first. We can Thoughtseize the crap out of them. Then we're kind of stuck, so we can really stop our opponent playing the early game and Fatal Push anything early on if it comes to it. I think you keep this hand, but it's not great. Okay, Pelt Collector. So, Monogreen Stompy would be my guess. Do I want to kill the Pelt Collector or Thoughtseize? I could Thoughtseize a 2-drop to stop the Pelt Collector from hitting for 2. Or I could just kill it. I think I want to try and hit that 2-drop. Oh, wow. Another Pelt Collector. Or some of these 3-drops here. Really, I can kill just about all of them. So let me just take the Pelt Collector. Because I expect that is going to be what their turn looks like. So I get to go Den of the Bugbear. I think I'm Thoughtseizing, taking one of the 3-drops so that I can Fable Passage, kill with Fatal Push the other one. Bloodchief's Thirst. That's not going to get much use out of me. I'm going to take the Rotting Regisaur, because then they need specifically a green land to play. They do have the Overgrown Tomb, but that would force a shock, basically, as opposed to taking my chances on them drawing a 3 off the top. So, definitely lucky for them on that front. So, let's crack this for a black. Kill the Steel Leaf Champion. I think we're actually doing it for red because we got the black here. Kill the Steel Leaf. They do get the counter. Will admit, I forgot about that. Okay, down to 10. Land for them and say go. Alright, well, we got saved. So we have Fatal Push here. I'm just going to straight up push it. Can't imagine there's a good reason to hold that. We got the Blood Chiefs there, so the 2-2 here is not going to get much done, but it will eat some removal. Rotting Regisaur, so I need to dig for an answer for that. Trespasser ain't it. So I have my blocker that dies to Thirst, so I need another blocker. I could do that by Sorin Minus. I think I like Sorin Minus. Yeah, Sorin Minus is okay. Play Den of the Bugbear and pass. So discards the forest. All the while that I'm doing this as well, while the Rotting Regisaur's here, it's making sure that they don't really gain card advantage, which definitely does me a favour. Well, I'm definitely going to block with a Lifelinker here. If they want to potentially give me extra mana, they can absolutely do that. They've got a Garruk's Harbinger. You gotta be mana efficient and kill this token, right? Yeah. Like, they do have to concern themselves with Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. And I am drawing cards. Corligan's Command. It's not gonna do too much for me, unfortunately. But I will play it. I will take it, sorry. Play Graveyard Trespasser. And eat, I guess, another Rotting Regisaur. Can offer a trade with the Harbinger. The trade with the Harbinger is fine. The Trespasser, though, in my hand could get Reflectioned. And I can make another 2/3 Lifelinker with Sorin. So I think I'm going to keep my Reflection around. Go to 3, because I don't think they can ping me in the face for 3 out of nowhere. Interesting. Hexproof from black. So if I go 1, 2, 3, Trespasser, eat the Harbinger. I'm going to make another Lifelinker just to be on the safe side. And then I'm going to make a copy of Trespasser. Trespasser will leave at the beginning of my end step, right? Which means I'll trigger Revolt and that can kill the Rotting Regisaur. So swing through, eat a Pelt Collector. God, I love the turns in this deck. They are just so... I don't know. There's a lot going on. Alright, so token leaves, Revolt is triggered, Regisaur is dead. Could also, on my end step, make the token of the Trespasser. But I think this is just fine. Let's just take them straight off of any threats here. Pack Leader. There's nothing I can tick up with that's more than 6. So let's just have a look at what Sorin can get me. Another Reflection. The side isn't legendary, so that would take me to 3. I'm going to take that. Play my land. Play my other Fable. Make a copy of the Shaman. Swing. That gives me the 3 mana for Corligan's Command. They know about it. So this is just 2 damage, return a Trespasser. Oh, I love this deck. It's so good. Alright, so we're up to 5. We've cleaned their board again. We lose nothing. We have all the threats in board. Oh my god, craft this deck. It's so fun. It's so fun. Usually I'm not too big on mid-range, but I don't know, this has got a lot of little minute details in every single turn. Like, all the way down to what you do with your lands, cracking your Fable passages, keeping your treasures around. All of that nonsense, it's just... yeah, I'm in love with this deck, it's great. Let's go for another one. Alright, opponent goes first. We've got red mana, okay. I was a little worried there, I didn't see it. We've got basically removal for small creatures up the curve, and then we get Sorin. It's not the best hand in the world, but I'll take it. Seen a lot of creatures today that I'm pretty confident that these Fatal Pushes are going to see a target. Certainly this deck is a good meta call. Based on what we saw in my last video when we were playing Gates, this is just lined up to kill basically everything that you would have expected. So our opponent's on a Teamer list with Gilded Goose. Fires of Invention's legal right now, isn't it? Maybe that's what they're on. With all of the, with all the 5 mana elementals. I think I'm just going to match our opponent. I'm going to ping them in the face, play my own. So if they have Fire's Invention, they're going to fire it off now. So Chandra. Okay. Chandra can kill Bone Crusher Giant. Timing on that could be better, because if I had a black land up and I could Fatal Push now, but... it is what it is. I can kill Chandra, though.
Well, that was a disaster.
And then, I guess I'm just Thought Seizing. I've really got to be efficient with my mana here, and... well, yeah, I definitely wouldn't want Chandra Torture Defiance coming back again. So they've got a Sarkhan that can minus to make a dragon, and I've got the Fatal Push to kill the dragon. So Sarkhan's basically doing nothing. Although our opponent's playing a very similar game to us, just with different colours, which is very fun. So yeah, now they can just like turn Sarkhan into a 4/4, which is technically quite powerful. Because I'm really struggling with my good cards here. Glorybringer Exer, and we're dead. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, couldn't quite get a grip on that game. We're on the draw as well, weren't we? I imagine that plays a factor into this game, since we're basically on a mirror match, just with different colours of mana. They practically played the same cards that I would have played. I think Glorybringer would fit quite nicely into this deck for sure. What it would actually replace is not something I'm too certain about. You might even want to go up to 26 land to make the Glorybringer work, but yeah, I could definitely see basically every single card our opponent played that we don't already have, like Sarkhan and the Glorybringer. I could see those being in our deck in some variation or another, so yeah, taking the L to basically our own deck. Let's move on to another one. Alrighty, we go first. We got turn 1 Thoughtseize. Not much to follow up with though. But yeah, I mean, turn 1 Thoughtseize. It doesn't really have a better turn to come down. So let's see what on earth are we looking at here? Alright. Creature or enchantment? Not terribly bothered. Ashiok is kind of just annoying. I mean, yeah, it's mono blow up everything. I think I can outrace mono blow up everything, especially considering they have to get to 6 and 8 mana to do it. Alright, well, Hive of the Eye Tyrant go. So I am leaving them the ability to mortify Fable of the Mirror Breaker. But that's okay, because they can get rid of either the Saga or the creature. I think either way I'm happy. Because I can have this generating me treasures for Sorin's +1 so that I can draw cards and use them in the same turn. Ooh, interesting. Alright, well I get some looting done. I think I just dump these lands. Get more lands. Oh, we'll turn down more lands. I'm going to make sure we got double red for Chandra when we eventually find it. And I think I'm going to once again make 2 threats. I've got Reflection of Kikijiki next turn, plus I've got this 2/3 that's attacking and... Leyline of the Void, okay. And buffering some of the Sorin +1 here. Leyline's interesting. It's going to shut off a little bit of my value, and I can't do much about it, with enchantments being a little bit of a weak spot for the deck. Definitely just going to reveal lands.
Blood for knowledge.
So they're on 4 mana. We know they're up to 6. They'll sweep the board. I do need to add a little bit more to the board, though. Right now, we got some stuff going on. Not a great amount, though. But this is probably where I call it on adding to the board, knowing that the turn after next, Planar Cleansing is going to happen. It is going to blow up Leyline of the Void, though, which is strange. Croaxer, I'll wait on that one. Tick up, get a Fatal Push. Just take the damage just to push through the cards in my deck. Card advantage is quite important. So even though the cards are useless, sticking through my deck a little bit further is good. Yeah, I mean, I'm on nighttime now, so I've got an extra point. They just have to blow up the world, right? Yeah, so goodbye Leyline of the Void. Hello Croaxer. I'm going to attack a Numa. Have a little bit of a blind dig for a card, and we got a Trespasser. Fantastic. It fills up for Croaxer as well. So I could do Cooligan's Command, Croaxer, take all of their cards away. Or I could do Croaxer, eat a card with Trespasser. I think I'll wait on Cooligan's Command for now. Okay, they got rid of a land. 7 cards total. Nothing really of value to exile with Trespasser. I'm going to go Croaxer again. I want to see what that last card is. It does make their Locthwain a little bit better, but they're on such a low life total that they've still got to be very careful with it. Alright, so they got an Arden Veil. I think I'm just going straight in with the Croaxer here. Eat the lands. Opponent can make a token with Arden Veil or draw a card, up to them. But they take 3 here. Token can die to Fatal Push that they know we have. Okay, so with your 2 cards, what do you do? If you don't have a card to discard with Croaxer, you're going to die. So they've got a Doomscar. I'm debating the value in Fatal Pushing my own Croaxer there, just so it's another card in my graveyard, but I think between, well, just having Trespassers here, it's really not needed. So there's another lethal threat. I guess I could have also upkeep sopped them and gone Cooligan's Command. 2 for the face, discard a card on their draw step. That's an option available to me. It's also just available to me next turn as well, and this is a lethal threat right now. I kind of want to get something that I can see is going to kill my opponent. Maybe draw a land. Alright, that's lethal right there. So, 2 damage, return a creature, get that Croaxer. Croaxer kills, Bone Crusher Giant kills. It's all killing, baby. Oh, actually, they could Lockthwain. I should Bone Crusher Giant. That's the guaranteed lethal, but Croaks is the fun one. Let's get a Croaks kill in. Yeah. Actually, no, because in response, they go to 0 with the Lockthwain, so it's not an out. Never mind. Alright, this deck is stupidly good. I love it. I mean, I can't really think of what else to say about it other than, yeah, build this deck. It's so much fun. But yeah, with the announcement of the new format coming around as well, you'll get plenty of chance to play this deck, presumably. I figure that the new format is just this format here. It's basically Pioneer. It's literally Pioneer without half the cards. So we might be seeing some like supplemental card drops or something like that, would be my guess. But probably not immediately because it's Wizards and they don't put money into their game. But yeah, for now we've probably got this format, and this format's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it, and this kind of mid-range being able to exist I think is a great thing. So yeah, check out the event, check out the new format if it does come out tomorrow. I don't know. It's certainly getting announced tomorrow. Whether it actually gets released then or not is to be determined. Maybe it'll come out with new Capenna or something. But yeah, very excited for the short-term future of Magic Arena anyway. So yeah, take care guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, you know the drill. And I'll see you all later. Peace.